Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and we're designing techtips.com. Well, today we've created this little gallery here. It's kind of magazine style. We've done it with nested rows. Great new feature that Divi's implemented here in Divi 5. I've added a little hover effect for each one. So when you hover over, it's going to zoom in a little bit like that. And of course, when you click on it, it's going to open in a lightbox. Really easy to do, no coding involved. Let's get started. I've got the page open here. And just to show you it's fully responsive, here it is on desktop. If I flip to a tablet, get a very similar layout. If we flip to a mobile, they stack nicely like that. Let's roll down. We'll add a new section. I'm going to choose one of my flex column structures here. And let's go with something like this. So I've got a larger column on the left and a smaller one on the right. Funnily enough, I'm going to use image modules. There's our image module. I'll just pop that in there. Also, choose whatever image you want to throw in yours. Now, this works best if you've got images all of the same aspect. Things will really lock together better that way. So let's throw this one in there. And save a bit of confusion, let's go back up or delete this section up here. Okay. I want my image to open in a lightbox, so I'm going to go down the link, hit open in lightbox. Now I'm going to clone it by hitting two little boxes there. I'm going to drag one of them across, doesn't matter which one, they're identical at this point. Then I'm going to clone it again. So we've got our basic layout there. Need to get rid of the space between because I want mine touching. So to do that, let's go into the parent row. At the moment we're in the column. Over in design, I'm going to take the horizontal and vertical gap away. As you can see, I've done most of it already. Now we've still got a bit of a gap here because we've got two images in this column. So if we go back to the column, here's the row, content. Here's our row with the two columns. This is column number 2. I want to take any vertical gap away there also. Let's make both of these 0 as well. As you can see, that's fixed that little issue right there. But I want that on this column too, because I may switch things around and have 2 on this side. So if this column doesn't have the same settings, then we'll get a gap. I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. So let's just copy our layout settings here, copy layout attributes. I'm going to go back to the row, go back to our content. I'm going to go into this first column now. I'm going to paste those in our layout styles here. Paste layout attributes. Great. Now if we duplicate our row now, I don't want to have a gap between them. So we can go into our section, blue tab up here, design, and we'll take that away. I'm going to do both horizontal and vertical. Once I do the vertical, that's taking care of that. Now we can go into this row. We can go into the content of the row, the elements again. We can apply a different template. If we want to switch it around the other way, just click on this one. And all we need to do is grab one of our image modules and pull it into the other row. I've duplicated it there, so we'll get rid of that one. That's what I was saying about making sure you've got no gaps in your columns with that one. And of course, you can put a completely different template in there as well. Again, if I just go into the row, content, elements, perhaps you might want something like this for this one. And we can grab this one right here, drag it up over here. We need to add another little column because we've only got 2 here. We want to fill this out. So again, in the little row, all we need to do is clone one of these columns. This second one will be great because you can put 2 images in it. Perfect. Don't even need this one down here. And you can continue on to your heart's content. So we'll just clone this again. And let's change out our structure again. Make sure we're in the row. Content. Here's our structural. Let's perhaps have something fairly straightforward. 3 in a row. And we can get rid of these down here. And of course, when you're happy, you can go in and swap out these images because everything's set up the way we want. Just click on the image you want to swap out. We're in the image there. Click on it. Pop in the image you want to swap it with. And continue on. I'll pause this and do the rest of these. Okay, well, I've just added my last image, and of course you can continue to your heart's content here, but we'll leave that like that. So we've got this on desktop. This is how it's going to look on tablet. This is how it's going to look on phone. Absolutely perfect. Now, if you want to add a little hover effect for fun, I did it with mine. We can go into one of these images. I went over to the Design tab. To make the zoom effect, I went to Transform Scale down here. Only when we hover over it, so we go up to the top, little computer type icon, left click, go down to the hover settings. I'm going to bring it up by about 50%. It's not particularly ideal for our case here, but it's just a bit of fun because in these columns, they're going to go up over each other a little bit. You can fine tune with the little arrows there. That's great. And of course, when they go back to desktop, want to go back to the normal size, but we don't want it spelling out like it is. We can fix that in a moment. Time it takes to do it by default is 300 mils, which is really quick, 300 milliseconds, just under a third of a second. If you go over to your Advanced tab, we're doing all of this within the image itself. Down to Transitions, there's the default 300 mils. Let's maybe make it half a second, 500 milliseconds. And I like to use for my hover effects ease in out. That's fantastic. Now you can go on if you wanted it to do more than zoom when they hover over it. Perhaps you wanted to turn it black and white or something. You could use a filter and do the same things. You can add as many crazy effects as you want with this new system. For instance, back over in Design, if we were to go down to Filters this side, we can make it black and white very easily. Let's perhaps make it black and white on desktop version. This isn't what I did before. It's just showing you another option. And we can do that with our saturation right here. To make it black and white, we just pull it down. As you can see, we've got a black and white image there. And to bring it back to full color when they hover over it, you know what to do. Hover up over the computer icon, left click, hit hover. It's going to get bigger. And we're going to resaturate it. And remember, if they click on it, it'll pop out into a light box. Now, like I say, we don't want to see that overflowing bit here. We can do that quite easily. But first, we need to extend the changes to this image to all other images. Let's flip back to hover mode. Once you do a hover effect, it's really important to flip back to desktop mode. If you don't, and you start making changes to other things, they will only happen in hover mode. So let's extend attributes. Don't want to do all attributes, just want to do the design attributes. Extend to this section, the parent section. Just want to do the image modules. Just the design attributes, and that's important because we don't want to flip the image on each of these to be the same again. Let's extend. As you can see, that's made them all black and white again. When we hover over, as you can see, they're doing that. They will grow as well. But if I flip to hover mode, it's going to be a right mess. As you can see, that one's hovered in. We need to get rid of our overflow right here. Let's do that now. To do that, let's flip back to desktop mode. We need to go to the column that the image is sitting in. If I flip back one, we're in the column that that image is sitting in now. All we need to do is go over to Advanced, Visibility. We want to extend the visibility attributes to this section. Parent section. We just want to do the columns, sign attributes. I don't want to target the overflow. So let's extend that to all the other columns within our section here. Fantastic. If I click on one of our images now, and I flip to hover, you'll see that it zooms in and it stays within the boundary of the column it's sitting in. Fantastic. Switch that back. Trouble is, when you've got more than one in there, these are going to grow a little bit over the ones on the top. They'll still zoom and contain within the column, but they will grow a little bit up here, but that's okay with me. For instance, if I click on this one, I flip to zoom, hover, stays within it, but it does go a little bit over on one on top, but I can live with that. So if we've done everything correctly, this should work for us. Let's save draft. Then we'll preview. And here we have it, our little black and white images. When we hover over them, they're going to change into color. They're going to zoom in. Of course, when they click on them, they'll pop out into a light box. That's a really nice little feature. Really easy to do. Not going to be ideal for people with hundreds of images, but to create some images and make them look interesting for various sections, it's a fantastic idea. I really am enjoying this Divi 5 and cannot wait for the final release later on this year. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, either about Divi 4 or Divi 5, put them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. Well, once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and WebDesignDetectives.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.